Hello everyone, welcome to my July beauty favorites and fails. This is where I go through all of my favorite products from the previous month as well as the products that didn't quite work out for me. In some instances, they're failures because it's just a bad product. But in other instances, it's not that it's a bad product, it's just a product that didn't work for me specifically. So let's begin on a positive note with my favorites. And I'm going to start with what's on my face right now. Every month I try to wear some of my favorites for you or all of my favorites for you so you can see them on. So my first favorite is something that I actually thought I put in last month's favorites, but I guess I didn't. This is the Natasha Denona Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. I'm pretty sure I already said this, but it is what I have on my eyes right now. This palette, in my mind, is truly the perfect summer eyeshadow palette if you like warmer neutrals. It has such beautiful matte shades in it. It has beautiful shimmers. I do have a tutorial using this palette that I will link in the description box. If you've been on the fence about buying this palette, I highly recommend it. And then another palette I was really in love with this past month was the Summer Days palette from Sydney Grace. Unfortunately, this one is sold out right now. I believe it's going to be coming back in stock, so I will leave a link to it in the description box and I will let you know. Maybe I'll put it on my community tab when it does go back in stock. This palette is also gorgeous. I love the pressed shimmers in this one. You want to use them with your fingers versus a damp brush. I found that with a damp brush, they're not so great, but when you use them as they're intended with your finger as a pressed pigment, whew, they are gorgeous. Sydney Grace makes some of the most underrated eyeshadows ever. And then the third eyeshadow palette that came in a little bit later in the month that I just can't get enough of is this one from Wet n Wild. It is from the new My Melody and Karomi. Actually, I have the blush and highlight palette as well. I'm going to insert a photo of a look that I did using both of these products. This eyeshadow palette is incredibly difficult to open. Not anymore, but when I first got it, I had a heck of a time opening it, and I didn't even have these press-on nails on at the time, which I will link these in the description box as well. I never really wear nails like this, these ovals, but I kind of like them. They're like claws, which could be dangerous. I can definitely see myself accidentally gouging out one of my eyeshadows with these nails. Anyway, this palette is so pretty. I had forgotten how much I love to wear pinks and purples on my eyes, and the shimmers in here are great. Are they as amazing as the ones in the Natasha Denona palette or the Sydney Grace palette? No, not quite, but they're still really nice. I got a lot of pigment from them, and they were easy to blend, and the highlighter from this palette is stunning as well. It is what I have on now. It has a little bit more of a glitteriness, glitter particles to it. I just don't mind. I'm just so in love with this little collection. And then for my cheeks, I can't believe I didn't talk about this last month either. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Bloom Highlighting Blush. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more of this blush. I just love it so much. It is super pigmented. It gives you a little bit of glow, so you don't even need to use a highlighter if you don't want to. I like to be a little extra sometimes, especially when I'm filming videos, so I have both on. But look at how gorgeous this blush is. I love it, and it's so cute and pink. I think I said that. I did talk about this in a video before. It just wasn't my favorites. It was in, I guess, maybe a trying new makeup video. And I think I said the exact same thing about it then, that it's just so cute. How could you not love it just for the packaging? Okay, we are moving on to lips. This is my new favorite lip combo. I used the Pat McGrath lip liner in Contour, which is probably one of the best lip liners I've ever used. And then I picked up this Givenchy lipstick in 100 Beige Caraman. This formula is so nice. It's a matte, but it looks like a soft velvety matte on the lips. I love to wear this alone, but lately I've been topping it with my next favorites, which are the Kiko Milano lip glosses. I currently have on shade 03. There used to be a Kiko store here in Las Vegas at the Fashion Show Mall, and they got rid of it about 2 years ago, maybe longer. And I was so disappointed because I was obsessed with their glosses. I have two that are several years old, and I remember I was shopping with my sister and we both fell in love with the colors and the formula and the price. I'm pretty sure these are only $7 or $8, or they were at the time. I believe there might still be a couple freestanding Kiko stores in the United States. I'm pretty sure one is in New York City. And if you live outside of the US, maybe you're in Europe, I think these are a lot easier to find. I purchased the two new ones I have off of Amazon. I got the clear, which is the most amazing clear gloss I've ever used. And then of course this shade 03, which is a peach. Does it have a color name? It doesn't, but these are some of the best lip glosses I've ever used. They're so smooth, they're shiny, they actually wear a decent amount of time for a gloss. And I've really been into clear glosses lately because I often want the look of a gloss, but I don't want to, wait, scratch that. I want the look of a shiny lip, but I don't want a lip gloss that's going to change the color of the lip color I have underneath it, whether it's a lipstick or a liquid lip. I think you get the picture. And not all clear glosses are created equally. I thought that they were, but they're not. Some of them can be sticky, some of them can have a scent. This one does not have a scent whatsoever. It's not runny, so it doesn't end up in fine lines around the mouth that some of us might have. Yeah, oh, just got lip gloss on my nose. Yeah, no scent to these. As I was saying no fragrance, I'm thinking, wait, do they? No, they don't. These are so good. Order them off of Amazon if you're in the US. Now, if shiny lipsticks are your thing, you're not really a gloss person, you just like a lipstick that has some shine to it, make sure you check out the new Revlon Shine formula. I have three colors, 014 Glaring Coral, 800, which is Rum Raisin, which is such a beautiful everyday My Lips But Better color. And then also 003 Glossed Up Rose. This is another My Lips But Better if you have lighter lips. All three of these just give the right amount of pigment. They're not super sheer where you can't tell that they actually have color to them, but they're also not super opaque that they're gonna emphasize lines. A lot of times shiny lipsticks can do that. They can settle into lines on the lips or outside the lips. They're just such a nice, comfortable, flattering formula, and the colors are beautiful. So what else was my favorite? Oh, the Laura Mercier blush. The Laura Mercier Matte Bronzing Powder in Soleil #1. This was sent to me in my first PR package ever from Laura Mercier, which was so nice to receive. Laura Mercier is actually the first cosmetics brand I ever worked for. I started with the brand in 1996 when it launched. I worked at a department store in Atlanta called Riches, and I was the counter manager, the makeup artist. I was everything because the line had just come out. No one had heard about it. Anyway, I am so going off topic, but I have a soft spot in my heart for Laura Mercier, so it was really exciting to get that PR package from them. I do actually have a fail from that PR package as well that I'm going to get to momentarily. But first, this bronzer. Doesn't it seem like every brand has come out with a new bronzer recently? I feel like I've just been inundated with new bronzers. And I've really enjoyed some of the new ones, specifically the Charlotte Tilbury bronzers. I spoke about them last month, I believe, were my favorites. But you know how sometimes with bronzers, you don't know if one's better than the other until you try them on side by side, or maybe one day you're applying the bronzer and you're like, oh, this is nice, but then you try a new one and you think, oh gosh, this is an even better tone for my skin tone. I've been reaching for this one over all of my others, and I have many since I received it. It also smells like the beach. It smells like the coconut, suntan lotion kind of scent. What other brand has that? where it smells like suntan lotion. I can't remember. Oh, there's another brand. Oh, Physicians Formula. Physicians Formula butter bronzers smell like this, or this one smells like those. Anyway, it's perfect. I use it to contour. I use it to bronze. It's very finely milled. It blends nicely. So if you have a skin tone like I do, where you're light, but you're actually not as light as people think you are, I highly recommend checking out the Soleil #1. It does come in one darker shade. If you have more fair skin, you just want to use a lighter hand. And I have one more favorite to talk about. It is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. I received a couple samples of this. One was in my Sephora birthday gift for this year, and then I'm not really sure how I got the other one. I am in love with this mascara, and it takes a lot for me to fall in love with a mascara. I wear false eyelashes a lot, so when you're wearing false lashes, it doesn't really matter that much what mascara you put on first. You just want to make sure that you have a little something there so that your lashes look blended into the fake lashes. But this one, I feel like it gives me the look, not of fake lashes, but it makes my lashes look better than any other mascara ever has. Let's just put it that way. It's not clumpy, it makes them look feathery and full. What I'm trying to say is that I am going to be purchasing the full size of this mascara, probably today. Ooh, I thought that was the last favorite, but it's actually not. I wanted to talk about this Wow Dream Coat Supernatural Spray. Because I live in Las Vegas and we have like zero humidity here most of the time, I really don't have problems anymore with my hair getting frizzy. I used to have very curly hair. Now it's more like wavy in parts and curly in others. A lot of people ask me, Risa, why don't you ever show your naturally curly hair? That's because it's just not pretty curly hair. It's not at all. It's straight here, wavy here, curly under here. It's not, just trust me, it's not good. So when I go to places that have high humidity, like the beach, where I just was a couple of weeks ago in early mid-July, I went to Orange County, and I know from past experience, I used to live in Michigan and in Minnesota, so I know about humidity. I needed something that would help contain my hair while I was there. And this stuff was absolutely amazing. Now, my hair wasn't entirely frizz-free, but it was a heck of a lot better than any other product from drugstore to high-end that I have ever tried to battle humidity. After I took a shower, I used this as directed. I divided my hair into sections. I sprayed each section liberally, and then I combed it through, and then I used my Revlon dryer, and my hair was so smooth and silky, and it says it lasts through 3 to 4 shampoos. I would say it lasted through 2. Anyway, it worked amazingly well for me, so I had to share it. All right, let's get to those fails. Okay, first I want to talk about the 2 foundation fails that I had this month. And these are 2 foundations that are not bad foundations. They just are not good for someone with really, really oily skin like mine. The first one I talked about in my recent ColourPop makeup tutorial. I used the new Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. This foundation does give beautiful light to medium coverage. It is very skin-like. It's not heavy feeling. I can absolutely see someone with normal to dry skin really loving this. Even if you're a little bit oily, you might really like it. For me, it did not have enough coverage or longevity on my very oily skin. There is oily skin and then there is very oily skin. And I am one of those people that has very oily skin. But if you do not, perhaps your skin is just slightly oily or again, normal, dry, I would definitely recommend this foundation. It was just a fail for me. As was the new Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. I do have a full review that I can link for you in the description box. And I had only used this product the one day when I did the review. I don't normally do first impression foundation reviews. They're just not usually my thing, but my good friend Michelle Wong was doing a first impressions video and we just thought it would be a good idea because we have 2 different skin types to do the review together. So that's what we did. Anyway, I think going forward, as I was saying, I think I'm gonna stick to doing foundation reviews after I've used them a couple of times. That was a very long-winded way of me saying that I questioned myself after I put up that review, because I was seeing other reviews where people really, really loved it. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like to watch other people's reviews before I do my own. And I think a lot of YouTubers are this way. We don't want to have it kind of tarnish or taint or sway our opinions, our true thoughts and opinions on a product. So when I started seeing other reviews that were really good of this foundation after I had already done mine and came to the conclusion that I didn't like it, I tried it again just because I began second guessing myself. And lo and behold, I had the same results. It emphasized texture, oxidized, it came off in my T-zone. It just wasn't great for someone super, super oily. And one thing I want to say about foundation reviews, and I think most of you know this, but for those of you that don't or really don't pay attention to the type of skin that the YouTuber has when they're doing a review, you really need to pay attention to that. Because I did see in the comments of another YouTuber's video, well, Risa does makeup, hated this foundation. And that's true. But I have very different skin than that reviewer. She has pretty much perfect skin. Normal, slightly dry, slightly oily, or oily, slightly oily in the T-zone, but overall, perfect skin. I can't imagine most foundations wouldn't work for her, honestly. When someone already has good skin, and pretty young skin too, she's about 10 years younger than me, that makes a difference. That definitely makes a difference. So what I really want you to take away from this is that you definitely need to pay attention to the type of skin the reviewer has when they are telling you how it worked on them. So now I want to move on to the two products that I think might be massive fails for a lot of people if you've tried them, or if you plan on trying them. Well, then my recommendation is don't. The first one is these Kokie lip liner pencils. I had actually never even heard of the brand Kokie until I started seeing people on Instagram post about them. And the lip liners looked really nice. And I saw that, well, as far as I could tell, they were only available in Rite Aid stores. So I went to a Rite Aid when I was in California. We do not have Rite Aid drugstores here in Vegas anymore. So when I was in California, I saw the whole Kokie display at a Rite Aid, and I got super excited because I really wanted to try these lip liners. So I purchased two colors. I purchased 517 Nude and 522 Dusty Rose. I got maybe 2 uses out of each one of these before they broke. Here is a little tiny piece. Oh, I have these nails on. I can't really show you, but I have this little tiny piece that broke off on the second use. I know this happens sometimes to lip liners, but usually you get more than 1 or 2 uses out of them. So this one is toast. There's nothing left either. The whole thing just collapsed. And then this one, the color is still there, but if I go to use it on my lips, even if I don't roll it up very high, even if I just use the tip, maybe it won't right now, but when I went to go use it the other day, it was wobbling like it's gonna fall out. So yeah, Kokie, I wanted to love these. The colors are great, especially this nude, but no, I'm not spending, even if it's only $5 or $6 for the lip liner, that's a waste of money. Nobody wants to throw money in the toilet, which is, I kind of feel like what I've done purchasing those lip liners. But I didn't know. That's just a warning to you. And let me know in the comments if you have these lip liners and if you've had this issue or if I just got very unlucky. So the next fail is this Laura Mercier cream blush in the shade Canyon. So I have a darker and brighter shade in this blush. I think it's called Blaze. And I really do like it. I love cream blushes for a very soft, natural look, especially on more mature skin. But this shade Canyon had no color to it. It literally has nothing. You can't even layer it to show color. I don't know if I just got a dud, but this is like, yeah, it's just a whole lot of nothing. I actually have one more fail that I wasn't sure if I should mention, but I'm going to. I'm sad because they are so pretty. These are the NARS Loose Eye Pigments, and So many people really like these. Full disclosure, I did receive these in PR, and it came with the whole NARS summer collection, which I love. The lip oil, the NARS Orgasm X palette, I've talked about those before. Love, love, love those. These I wanted to love, but they have so much fallout. They look beautiful when pressed onto the lid, but I can't deal with the glitter fallout everywhere. And even if I do my eyes first, I still find it difficult to get the glitter off. And I know you can take some tape and just kind of pop it off like that, but I don't have time for that. I would rather use a pressed glitter that didn't have fallout, one of the Hourglass Scattered Lights, something like that, that just doesn't have this kind of insane fallout. All right, I think I have now covered everything. All of my July 2020 beauty favorites and fails. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please, please, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Join the Risa Does Makeup family. I do try to upload videos at least twice a week, sometimes 3. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same username. It's all Risa Does Makeup. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.